All right, well, I'm going to set the scene, and we'll see when Aaron arrives. You can join in.
Okay, sweet.
But first, welcome. You're in the city of Waterdeep, the city of 1,000 splendors, the city where all dreams come true, and where, you know, the waters run deep in Waterdeep, and the waters have run through about 1,000 kidneys as well. So I'm not sure if we can really call it water anymore.
Lit.
But Loam and Caden. You are enjoying yourselves at a local drinking establishment, as all good D&D adventures start. You sit around a sturdy wooden table, lit by a brightly burning candle and littered with plates cleared of food and half-drained tankards. The sounds of gamblers yelling, drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs. They nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. But we pan across and we see these two figures sitting at the table here. Caden, would you like to describe what we see as the camera rests on your charming features?
See, middle-aged for an elf, young for a human looking man sitting at the table, with a covered in a intricate woven cloak. That's really about it. He is very private and tries to keep things very close to himself.
Despite keeping to himself and being a loner, this is a team game, and he is sitting with someone. Kate, could you describe who Caden is sitting with?
So you see Loam, who is a very tall, willowy figure, but fully wrapped in like a thick traveler's cloak. I assume because she's drinking, she doesn't have a mask on, but that would be hitched at her hip. Her long ears are hidden under the hood of her cloak. So I guess they're looking a bit sus sitting together, both very rugged up and hiding their features. But she's talking very animatedly and gesturing and yeah.
And what is she? What are you saying? I assume she's talking to Caden. What are you saying?
Yeah.
We're back.
Welcome back. We just described
the intros.
the very first sentence of being in a tavern, as all D&D games do start. So welcome.
Thanks.
So we started the scene with this sturdy wooden table, lit brightly. There's candles everywhere. It's a well lit establishment, and there's lots of loud noises and gamblers carousing, singing, and the singing itself is barely drowning out the off-key strumming of a young bard. And we've just seen Caden and Loam sitting at this table here, all rugged up. And Loam, you were about to tell us what you were saying to Caden.
I think she's just very quickly and animatedly retelling her story about how she probably tripped and fell in the marketplace and caused a scene, but very much enjoyed the attention. Yeah. Just getting overly excited.
Caden is chuckling to himself. Chance that he probably tripped her in the market.
Sorry, yep, go.
Oh, if he was around. That sounds like something he would have done.
We pan across to a table nearby, and we see an elf with perhaps a jaunty captain's hat. I don't know. Aaron, do you want to describe what we see as the mind's eye pans across to your character?
Yes, all right. So sitting at the bar is a 6 foot tall, 6 foot 6 tall, very bronze-skinned elf. No hat. Hat's ruined his really nice hair, which is long, sun-bleached, blonde, with some very dirty dreads in there because as nice as it is, it's also washed full of seaweed, and is quite gross. Despite being very much a bard, has only one instrument hanging loosely from his hip. Yeah.
And what is sitting at the bar? You perhaps have been accepting drinks from the bartender, Dernan, a gentleman, sort of the owner and proprietor of this place. You all know as the Yawning Portal. Called such for the giant gaping hole in the center of the bar that leads down deep into the Undermountain. Dernan is a sort of a no-nonsense, doesn't really crack a smile very often kind of fellow. Rumor has it that he went down into Undermountain, found great treasures, brought them back, and used it to open this bar. He rarely says two words when one will do, but he does have a bit of a dark sense of humor. And above the bar, hanging up, is a greatsword. Up above the bar looks well worn, but still with a sharp edge. Now, Islisen? Is that how I pronounce it?
Islisen.
Islisen. What is your reaction to the bard making sort of some missed notes and sort of playing a little off key on the lute there?
Oh, jeez. So, in hushed, whispered tones to Dernan, Islisen tells him, "You know, there's only one good way to play that bloody instrument, and that bastard is fucking it up." The Dernan sort of wiping a glass, as a perennial bartenders everywhere do constantly when nothing better arises. Sort of gives a bit of a and just kind of nods. And sort of puts down another drink in front of you. Meanwhile, though, most of the noise of the playing, of the singing, of the general chatter is eclipsed by a shout. A man's voice cuts through the din. "Ya pig! You like killing me mates, does ya?" And then a 7-foot tall half-orc is hit by a wild swinging punch from a human man who has sort of a shaved head covered with eye-shaped tattoos, and she goes sprawling back into you, Caden and Loam, sort of knocking some things off your table before she kind of grits her teeth, her sort of big fangs and underbite fangs showing through. And she rushes back to start laying punches into this gentleman.
Caden sort of just repositions himself around the table, readies up, and just sits back to watch. Ready, grabs his drink and, okay, interesting.
Loam is a bit more active and kind of pushes the woman up. Just tries to help a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But she's exhausted.
Yeah, so she sort of falls back onto your table, knocks some cheese and knocks the cheese board over, and perhaps even your drink. But Loam helps push her back up and back into the fray, giving her that bit of a boost. And this half-orc woman just comes in with a big right hook and starts beating into this man. Islisen, what is your reaction to this happening sort of 5 feet behind you?
Yep. So Captain picks up his drink, turns to lean on the bar, watches, and just drinks away, casually throwing side eyes at the other bard that he has now taken real problem with.
Yeah. So just ignoring the fight, and the bard, perhaps understanding that a bar brawl has taken place, does change songs, and of course, the diegetic music in the place becomes a lot more interesting, as if almost to hype up the fight. After a moment or two of a couple of punches back and forth, the half orc lays out the guy who had kind of knocked her back in the first place, or gotten her with that cheap shot. But almost immediately, as she's kind of towering over him, she's set upon by what appear to be 5 of his mates. And they circle in and get her to the ground and sort of start kicking the shit out of her.
Caden, upon seeing this, will make his way over to the fray and say, now, chaps. Now, you've made your point. Let her be.
Yeah, she's almost like ignoring the kicks coming from them, and she's just trying to keep laying into this shaved head dude. And they're trying to like kick her, pull her off, but even whilst on the ground, she keeps kind of rolling back on top of him, and just laying into him again and again. You can just kind of hear the meat slapping sounds of fist on face. Caden, do you want to give me a? So are you trying to tell them all to cool out? Like, do you want to give me a
yeah, more or less. I'm coming in with a bit of air of authority about me, just saying like, now, we've had enough of this. Time to stop. So a persuasion check, you say?
Yep.
Alrighty. That's an 18.
Yeah. So you're able to get sort of one or two of them, to sort of stop kicking her. But the other 3, seeing that she hasn't given up, and their friend appears to be unconscious underneath her as they're still trying to like lay in, pull her off. As they're having no luck, they start pulling out knives.
All right. Caden says once again, with a bit more anger behind it. Oi! Time to stop.
And what's Loam doing during this?
I think she comes up and touches Caden from behind and just casts light on him, so he starts glowing really brightly, just to kind of like aid him in trying to get everybody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've yelled, put his hand on his hip at his he's got like a little, as he's stood up and his cloak has moved a little bit, you've noticed he's got a dagger at his side, so his hand is on the dagger.
Cool. Give me an intimidation check.
Yep.
I'll give you advantage.
That's a 20.
Well, that's a dirty 20. That's pretty good anyway. Roll again anyway, see what you get. Just because you've got Loam kind of assisting you here.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So
I'll keep that.
You're now sort of glowing brightly white, or glowing brightly, almost silhouetted from their point of view, and the music kind of cuts out, and the yelling stops. Yagra, not looking great, sort of blood all through her teeth and stuff like that. Is kind of staring these guys off, not really paying you attention, but they've kind of stopped and are looking at you. And then in the silence, the bartender in front of you, Icelicine, just yells, "Out!" And the 5 sort of leather-clad gentlemen look over it from between him and Caden, Yagra sort of drops their comrade. They grab him and kind of drag him out.
Good. Caden's gonna go back to his seat. Just sit back down.
Like nothing happened.
Pretty much.
I'm just gonna check that Caden's alright. He obviously didn't get hit or anything like that.
Yagra kind of, or the Arfork, I should say, stalks up to the bar, wearily kind of leans over the bar right next to you, Aaron, and, some of her blood, or possibly the other guy's blood, still kind of dripping off her, splashes down onto the bar right next to you, next to your beverage. She just sort of puts up a finger. One of the barmaid kind of brings her a shot, and she downs it, almost sort of like gathering strength before whatever it is she needs to do next.
Captain's gonna turn to her, stare her dead on, and says, "If you get any of that bloody blood on me, I'll make sure you don't get off that floor again."
Give me an intimidation check here.
Oh, intimidation? I can do that. Maybe. Where is it? Yes.
Let's see. She sort of looks you dead in the eye, holds up her hands like, "Yeah, right. No worries, your lordship. So sorry." And then as she turns and leaves, just like pats you on the shoulder as she goes to leave, leaving a smear of blood and dirt and muck, possibly beer, as she starts to just walk out.
I'm going to try and stop her. Can I just kind of intercept? As she's kind of leaving the bar, and I just want to kind of fuss, and I think so I'm 6 foot. I just want to fuss and, "Are you okay?" And I'm kind of grabbing her arms and checking for wounds, and very invasive for someone who I just met.
Yeah. She sort of sees you doing this, and she probably holds your eyes because she's got to be a good 6'4" maybe, but she does stoop a little bit. And you come over and just start sort of fussing over her unbidden. She's a little bit taken aback by that and is like, "Oh, yeah, okay, thank you, yes."
Are you okay? What is your name? Who are those men?
I'm Yagra. Those guys, don't even worry about those guys. I handled it. They're just fucking sore in the butt about something. Thanks for your help, by the way.
I'm not sure you handled it, but next time if you ask, I will totally be on your team.
Well, that's lovely. What's your name?
My name's Loam.
Lovely to meet you, Loam. Perhaps when my eyes aren't so bloodshot, we could go out for a drink.
Yes.
And get into some more fights. I don't know. You look like you could handle it.
Fights. But only with bad men. I'm assuming they were bad men. What did they do to you?
As you ask that, shouts of alarm suddenly ring out as a hulking creature climbs up out of the shaft in the middle of the tap room. A monster with warty green skin, a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long carrot-shaped nose and bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see that half a dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its body, with 3 more circling above it like flies. Everyone in the tap room kind of or most of the people in the inn here seem to react in fear of some kind, except for the barkeep, who just shouts, "Troll!" And we're gonna roll initiative.
Cool.
That was quick. Oh, that 20.
All right. So the best way to do this is if you up in the top right, there's the little fist. Oh, you guys have done it. All right, you've already done it. Too good. Here, I thought I'd have to.
Glad my rolls are no better than they used to be.
No better than you deserve.
Wow.
All right, so the troll is up here on the edge of the thing, with a bunch of these sturges floating around on and around it. It looks like it's had some of its blood drained. It's not looking, in peak performance. But Caden, you're up first, as this thing is sort of has climbed up out of the pit in the center and seems to be making its way towards you with its bloodshot eyes.
Oh my god, I did not mean to do that.
All right. Well, Caden. So the cloak that I have, that's okay to have? The one that got imported with him? It's just it's the, where is it?
Cloak of Many Fashions?
Cloak of Many Fashions, yeah, it just changes. So as Caden, stands up, his cloak opens up, he flicks it back, so his hands are a bit more mobile. And he without really moving from the table, he just sort of half gets up, all right, I guess. And he is going to just try and give this troll a bit of a shock with a nice old Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 24 to hit for 7 damage.
Yeah, so you blast this thing with this Eldritch Fire. What does your Eldritch Blast look like? Has it got a color scheme?
Yeah, basically he's got one hand on the table, just getting up, and then his other hand is up, and you just see a sparkle crackling around his fist, and then just a nice long quick shot that you almost don't notice is almost like a void of darkness just propels out of his hand and just crashes into him, to the troll.
All right. Well, the troll eats up that force damage. Doesn't seem to be too perturbed by it. But what does happen is a bunch of these sturges start flying in and harassing people. One of them is going to try and attack you, Caden.
Yep.
It's 22 to hit.
22 to hit.
Damage.
Yes. I take that 5. No, that's me, Caden.
Oh,
sorry, yeah. I'll say Loam. Because you feel left out, Loam, one's going to fly over you.
No, you're going to get attacked.
And tries to sink its proboscis into you. 14 versus your AC?
No.
Okay. For those of you playing at home, these creatures are sort of bat-like mosquitoes, as you can see here in this beautiful photo. So Loam, one of these creatures comes in and tries to sort of land on you, sticking its nose up in your business, but it's not able to get through what must be sort of a strong chainmail beneath those robes. Oh man, the edgy sturge is coming straight for East Leeson.
Gotta go for the edgy one.
That's right. He's just the edgy sturge smells it. He smells it. That's a 13 to hit.
No.
Oh my god, give me a second.
No dice.
One of them still just sort of hanging out on this this troll, or two of them are just hanging out in this troll for now. East Leeson, it is your turn.
All right. Cool. So, Ice Leeson's gonna whip his viol out, and with some very badly played music, cast a thunder wave.
Mhm. So that's each creature in a 15-foot cube. Yep, cool, you've drawn it. Awesome. So that's going to hit everyone in that square. So everyone needs to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Con save. Okay.
The veteran does not save.
Yeah, I'm good.
And two of the Sturges are going to take full damage here, so that's the 7. It just obliterates the one in front of you there. And was it the cute one as well? The cute one, boom, gone.
Oh, poor cutie.
So the one that had been flying up to you, Caden, just poof, like knocked out of the air by this this wave of force. And everyone else takes half damage. Is that right?
Yep, half damage. Yep.
So what was the damage on that? Sorry.
7.
7, so 3.
In fact, the other two still get blown out. They seem to. You think they've kind of avoided it, or at least they haven't just been ripped apart by the sound, but they've been buffeted enough that they kind of just flap to the ground and then jump around weakly like a bunny in a Ziploc bag.
I just wanted to show that all these chairs at the bar aren't secured either, so they're all just blown back.
Oh
10
yeah,
feet
like
as well.
boom, like one of the this table here, but maybe not the entire table, but like definitely one of the chairs has like flown off and ricocheted into the yawning portal. The bartender's not. You feel a glower from the bartender. He's unimpressed.
Yeah, you can do what you do.
As you've just made the most noise. Actually, no, the troll was coming up the Caden, wasn't it? It's just going to come straight in here. You got a big bite. 3 attacks. 1 with his bite. It's not going to be great. So he comes at you with a claw. 20 to hit for 12 damage.
Also going to hit it with a Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. So you
So
can make a
12
dex
damage.
save.
Yep, he's got to make a DC 14.
Boom. He's okay.
Oh, damn.
Is it half damage on a
Damn.
save, or?
Where is it?
Not
Hellish
as
Rebuke.
much.
Da-da-da. Damage. Doesn't actually say. Oh, wait. No, that's not a Hellish Rebuke. That's why. On a failed save or half as much on damage on a successful. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, cool. All right. So the troll seems to be coming at you, and you notice that as it's sort of climbing out of the pit, despite it looking sort of emaciated, having maybe a bunch of these bat creatures on it draining its blood, it seems to be sort of like as the creatures sort of came off and came after you. You know, the puncture wounds seem to be knitting themselves back together. It seems to be getting more of its green vitality. However, once you hit it with this fire, the fire seems to sort of spread across it, and the troll sort of howls in great pain. But it is going to try and hit you with a third claw attack.
How dare he?
It does not like the fire. 16 to hit.
16. Yeah, that hits. 6 damage. All
Lauren.
right.
Alrighty. That is not in. The troll is not within 15 foot of me, right? I'm too far.
You could walk 15 feet to get to it, but you'd be sort of
Yeah, I got this dude in front of me.
yeah. But then again, it's it's a little bat creature, whatever.
I'm going to do fairy fire. Place. Okay. And I'm going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody just has like advantage on attacks against these guys.
Do they have to make a? They have to make a dex save.
Dex save, yeah.
Cool. That's including Caden because he's in that, or is it just?
Yep.
Yeah. Each object and any creature in the area. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Let's see the
Oops.
troll. The troll
that was
saves.
so close.
The Sturge does not save. So the Sturge is kind of lit up by the
With a
fairy
dim
fire.
light.
And Caden is lit up by the fairy fire.
Yep.
So not only did you have like a bright light on him, which I assume is still there, like now he's glowing in a bunch of other colors as well.
Dude, Caden pretty as fuck.
Just a normal day for Loam and Caden.
Caden's his good looks are amplified right now.
The half orc next to you, you notice. Oh god, she's just doing terribly. Probably because she's lost so much blood. You see,
Yikes.
even with sort of the lit up Sturge in front of you, perhaps she's seeing 2 or 3 of it because she's swinging out with, you see now, a mace, trying to hit this thing that's coming at you, Loam, and she's just not having any luck. Try as she might.
Yeah, girl, why are you doing this to me?
Caden.
Right. Well, Caden, in being pain, is going to Misty Step. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not even going to bother with that. 30 feet. Ugh. So, wait. Yeah, Caden's going to hit his Misty Step and move himself just over here.
Behind the bar.
He has been. Yeah, he's going to jump over the bar, essentially. He's going to, once again, try and hit this troll with an Eldritch Blast. And that is a 15 to hit
15 will hit.
for 11 damage.
Very good. Cool. The Sturge is attacking this dude here. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah. This Sturge flying around you, Loam, sees that the half-orc's trying to, swat at it. So she's gonna, the Sturge sort of tries to land on her and start sucking her blood. Yagra's not looking great in that regard. Another one's gonna fly over to you though. Smells the magic on you. But no luck, you're able to just sort of duck and weave out of the way.
Sweet.
Iceleason, another one sort of coming in, where its brethren failed, it succeeds and sort of taps into you for 6 piercing damage.
Sure does. Wish I could do math. Oh god, what am I doing? Okay. Cool.
Alright, it's your turn.
My turn. All right. Let me just check something. Cool. Still playing horrific sounds on the viol. I'm going to cast Cloud of Daggers. Which should... just in front of me there.
Cool.
Cool. Then with my bonus action, I'm gonna yell back to Caden, even though not with his name, just cast Healing Word upon him.
So you can't cast a spell with both your action and your bonus action, I'm afraid, unless the action one is a cantrip. Is it a cantrip?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, so it's a spell. Okay.
Yeah, so you can't do 2 spell slot spells as an action and a bonus action. I think it's just because it takes that much time to cast or whatever. So you can choose one or the other.
Okay, never mind then. Never mind.
But the Cloud of Daggers, let's see how this goes. So creature takes...
yeah, if it starts in there or if it moves.
Okay, yeah. You can use like your Bardic Inspiration as your bonus action if you like instead.
I don't like it much.
You don't like him that much.
Wow.
I just need to make sure I stay alive.
Yeah. Speaking of, the troll comes barreling in through your Cloud of Daggers blindly, and is going to take 44 slashing damage. So it's going to take 15 damage. Because it took fire damage last round, it doesn't seem to be healing. The fire is sort of still erupting all over its arms. But it is going to try and take a bite at you, Isleeson. And then, getting annoyed that it can't do that, it's going to claw at you. That's going to be 25 to hit for 14 damage. And it starts swinging at the veteran up here as well. Landing a pretty meaty hit on him as well. He's not stoked about it. Loam.
Panicking, everybody around me is bleeding. I'm going to do Prayer of Healing. So I'm going to grab the veteran, Isleeson, Caden, and the lady next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer of Healing. So 2d8 for each of the characters.
Cool. So 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. So if you click the healing button there, does it roll the dice? Yeah, it does. So 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, which is your wisdom modifier.
Which is +3.
Cool. So each of these people get 10 health back. Including Caden and Isleeson. There you go.
Hey, I get 10 HP. Let's get it.
Thank God.
So I believe that's your action. Anything for your bonus action or your movement or anything?
So bonus action can be a cantrip.
If you've got a cantrip one, yeah.
I will do Sacred Flame on the troll.
Or Sacred Flame's still an action, not a bonus action. So if you had a cantrip that is a bonus action.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, or if you have a feature that's a bonus action, like I see you've got Harness Divine Power. That's a bonus action.
I might do Shield of Faith.
So that one's a first level spell, that won't work.
It also doesn't count. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say I had as a bonus?
On your features tab, you've got
Features?
Harness Divine Power that I think comes from being a cleric. So I
Okay,
think you can
sweet.
regain spell slots.
Oh, okay. No higher than half your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, so your proficiency bonus is 2, so you can get a level 1 spell slot back if you've used one already. So you could get...
I think my prayer of healing is... Yeah, that was a level 2, so I haven't...
you did use Fairy Fire, which is level 1, so you could get a level 1 spell slot back.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just edit that to back to 4. Cool. All
Sweet.
right.
Thank
Yagra feeling invigorated, energized. She's going to come in swinging against this this Sturge. Oh my god, what is with her rolls?
She's not very good.
She's trash.
It's taken her.
Never
4
mind. She figured it
swings.
out.
Yeah, 4 swings. She's able to destroy the Sturge that was trying to harass you, Loam. And she gives you a kind of sheepish grin that is even more amplified by the fact that, she's got those big underbite fangs going on.
Awesome.
Caden?
All right, Caden, upon having more than enough of this, just he's fucking had it. He's going to use his bonus action to cast Hexblade's Curse on the troll. And I don't know how to affect that onto the troll in game because it's not a spell; it's just a curse that I give. Once per short rest, as a bonus action, choose one creature you see within 30 feet. Curse it for 1 minute or until the target dies, you die, or are incapacitated. Against the cursed target, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls. Score critical hits on a 19 or 20 and regain 8 HP if it dies. And then using my action, Caden is going to put his hand at his side as if to draw a weapon, but there's nothing there. And a sword is going to appear in his hand.
Nice.
And he's going to jump over the bar as well. His movement to just there. Position himself there. Turn there.
Cool. So that's your bonus action is the Hexblade's Curse.
Yes, and then my action is drawing my.
I think drawing is a free action, right? I'm confused because I see a Pact of the Talisman.
Oh, it's not.
Pact of the Blade.
No. Because I'm a Hexblade, I have a Hex weapon as well as a Pact weapon.
Yeah.
But Pact of the Blade gives you Pact weapons. Hexblades give you Hex weapons. So I get one weapon that's essentially like a demon in a sword or some shit.
Yeah. I think you can just make the attack then. I think you summon it into your hand as kind of a free action or something. Essentially, normal weapons, drawing them is part of the attack action. So I'll let you have the attack.
Alright, cool. Well, yeah, Caden's now got his dagger in one hand and his Hexblade other. So he's going to swing once with longsword, which is an 11 to hit.
11 will not hit, I'm afraid.
And then
that's 1d20 plus 6? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Yep. And then he's going... I can add my my talisman pack, like part 1 charge of my talisman to add a d4.
Okay.
For that attack. I'm going to burn that. And get a 4, so that's a 15 to hit.
That is just enough.
All right, so that does 1 damage. And then with his 2-weapon fighting, he's going to swing with his dagger as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which is 13 for 4. Doesn't hit.
No. So 10 damage from the from Arbiter, which is the Hex.
Oh wait, the damage. Did the damage?
It added your charisma.
1d10 plus 6. Yeah, plus charisma, and then that should be a +2 on top of that as well for the curse. That should be 13. It should be 12 damage. 12 damage total.
2 more. Okay, this troll looks like it's on the ropes. Not quite dead, but barely standing up. This Sturge kind of gets destroyed by the gentleman in sort of half plate over there. He's pulled out sort of this blue sword and just sort of cut it down. The Sturge that's right on you, Loam, It's going to try and bite you. Still, no chance as you sort of duck and weave, dancing around this thing, looking elegant as always. The veteran here smashes out. What has he got? He's pulled out a short sword and kills the Sturge here as well. He's done. Where's the flowery Sturge that's here? It's going to try and bite at Ice Leeson. 16 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And it's your turn to retaliate.
Good math. All right, cool. The now very, very unhealthy looking captain, not thinking all that clearly, still continues to play his viol. Pretty sure that's why everything's attacking him right now.
Just making that screeching sound as like a moth to the flame. These bat creatures coming for the sound.
Screams at the troll in front of him that he'll smash his barnacles.
Damn.
All right, do you see a wisdom save from the troll?
God.
Oh, damn.
There's a wise troll. There's a moment where the troll goes, "Hang on, me got no barnacles."
So if I've used the cantrip as the main action, can I also use it again as the bonus action?
No, so it still requires an action to do, but you could now use a bonus action spell. So because you've used a cantrip as your action.
Cool. Cool. And then I'm gonna cast another cloud of daggers.
Is that a bonus action?
No, sorry. Never mind.
Also, actually, how long did that last, Cloud of Daggers?
That lasts for a minute.
Okay. So it's still there, effectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just ignore the other one. I don't know how to get rid of that. Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, I'm done.
Cool. Well, as the troll is still standing in the middle of your first Cloud of Daggers, and actually so is the Sturge, I believe, it is sort of cut to ribbons, and the troll as well, despite, you see like the cloud of knives, perhaps made by the sound of the screeching of the violin, like a wounded cat. Strips of flesh are sort of opening up on the troll just as fast as they're knitting together. But the cacophony of the violin kind of overtakes it, and the troll ends up falling on the ground dead.
Oh, he's dead now? Cool.
Cool.
Aiden regains 8 HP.
There you go. Lo.
So there's no Sturge around there anymore either. There's just the one next to me.
Correct.
Alright, I'm gonna take out my singing sword.
Mhm.
And attack. How do I do that on my... Oh, there I go. Roll for attack. Oh.
Unfortunately...
Oh, damage. Whoops.
An 8 is not enough, unfortunately. What was that? One dude... hold on. Let me just double check that, because your strength... let's edit this. Because it should be based off your dexterity, I believe. It's gonna...
Yes.
That would have only given it a +1, but still. Finesse. Cool. So you pull the blade out. Does it make a sound when you pull it out, or only when you sort of cut through the air?
It's like a whistling kind of vibrating sound as I kind of spin it through the air, very like dancer style.
But like the Star Wars kid and the vroom, 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 it seems like maybe Loma's
Yeah.
just making the noises herself, as she's not able to cut this creature down. Yagra steps forward, though, and kind of gently sort of puts a hand on your shoulder to like push you back as she comes sort of barreling in with the mace. Finally being able to do some good work here and just flattens it into the floorboards.
Yes.
Yeah. And da 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 da. You've solved my troll puzzle.
Sucked in, troll. Caden's sword just... It's gone.
Yeah. Does it look like, does it disappear in like a puff of smoke, or is it more just like you look at him and it's gone, like no one sees it disappear?
No one sees it disappear, and if anyone brings it up, he doesn't even know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna cast Prayer of Healing again on the same people.
Mhm.
Yay, lots of healing.
Cool.
I've just
That
found
one.
my
17 points of healing.
probably less important, but more important to me. I just found my better portrait of Yagra and what she should really look like. Let's see if this updates.
I can't update my token, it won't.
Just doesn't like you, mate.
It says, please log in. Clearly logged in.
Here we go. Here's the Yagra. Now that she's got
Cool.
yeah.
We're gonna be best friends, I can tell.
Yeah.
She actually runs up to her and says that. We're gonna be best friends.
And I'm imagining it like Loam running up, excited, almost schoolgirl-esque, like, "Oh my god, we're gonna be
Yes.
best friends!" Like this, that was a great fight, and she's trying
Yeah.
to do the kind of like gruff, "I'm too cool for that" kind of thing. But you can tell she's pretty stoked about it, and she raises sort of a meaty fist for a fist bump.
Yes. Lone with like full enthusiasm, like full like dexterity strength behind her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
is like
so
backwards.
my game's missing the map again.
Oh, it's a bit silly. Did you? Yeah, you're logged out apparently.
Yeah, no, I logged back in and now it's like, oh, never mind. Let's try that again.
Let me try changing the page and then going back and see if that'll help you.
Am I Dylan?
You are Dylan. Good job.
No, there ain't nothing going on here.
Well, as you're all, you get a moment where, oh, there's not two Jaeger, it's just like one cooler one. You're all kind of reveling in the post-fight thing. Dernan points to you, Iceleeson, and the veteran, and says, "Get that shit out of here. Just throw it back into the portal. That's fine. Something will probably come along and eat it. I don't want it coming back to life or whatever it is trolls do."
Yeah, no, I can't see the map at all. Oh, wait, now it's back. Okay, whatever.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Okay. Token.
So you've been given
Captain,
an order.
Captain, entirely disgusted by that demand, is going to just move a few seats down the bar away from that dead troll and kick us back to Dernan.
And just like look back at him.
Yep, just like, you know, just let him know he's got no time for that sort of crap.
Dernan walks out from behind the bar, you know, rolls up his sleeves, looks at the kind of other soldier that was there, and says, "Yeah, come on, lad," and starts sort of heaving this thing, leaving this sort of green bloodied smear across the floor, until they just sort of kick it into the hole, and it falls down unceremoniously.
Aiden returns to his seat. Starts drinking again.
Yagra says to you, Loam, you're a bit of all right. I think we made a pretty good team there. I didn't know I was gonna fulfill my promise of getting into a fight with you so soon.
Why so soon?
But I'm glad we did. And look, let's grab a drink. Let's introduce me to your friend.
Yeah, come meet my friend. This is my friend Caden. Caden, my new best friend Yagra.
She kind of looks down at you, judgingly, as you sit there at the table. You know, she kind of looms a little bit. She looms next to Loam.
Caden goes, pleased to meet you. What was your name? Yaza? Yasha?
And she kind of holds out her big paw of a hand to shake, offer it to shake yours.
Caden just looks at her hand.
Loam slaps him
And
on the
just-
shoulder. What are you doing?
and
Your
just-
manners.
Looks back at his drink. Just takes a sip.
I'm like batting him on the shoulder.
He's not bothered by this at all.
Yagra yells over to the bar. Bonnie, give us a round on me, and one for this, for your lordship over here as well. And she points over to Ice Leeson. What was your name, mate? Grumpy Lord something?
The captain merely shrugs in response and
Get on.
tips his.
Come here and have a drink with us, mate. We just had a fight. You can't be sulking over there. A warrior's beverage. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad luck not to drink after a fight.
If you don't shut up, you son of a biscuit eater, I'll cut you to your brisket. Now leave me the fuck alone.
She kind of grins and says, "I like him."
Loam
Caden,
just salutes with her cup and finishes the drink.
Yeah, as you're sort of getting through that next round, a figure starts sort of wending his way through the crowd and through the tables to approach you. It's this gentleman here. And as he sort of walks up and it comes up to your table and says, may I? That was quite a spectacle you put on. Are you were adventurers, right?
Caden sort of just looks up over the top of his glass. Just looks straight back at his glass.
I'm still training at the temple in town.
And he says, "Well, you look like capable folk, and perhaps if you're in the need of coin, I am in the need of help." And he kind of strokes his mustache and adjusts his floppy hat.
Caden's ears that you could have sworn were that of a human's prick up, and you can tell that they're very much elvish ears at the sound of coin.
So, is the guy talking loud enough that the captain would be able to hear him?
Yeah. This guy is not shy at all.
All right. So, at the instant mention of gold, the captain is going to launch himself across the room and clamber up onto the table in front of everyone.
Caden's just gonna grab his food and drink quickly. Just gather it. Like, excuse me.
I hear talk of booty over here. What do you need?
This gentleman kind of sits down, raises a glass, and says, "Well, friend, my name is Volothamp Gedam, chronicler wizard, celebrity at your service. I trust you've
noted the violence of our fair city these past 10 days. I haven't seen so much blood since my last visit to Baldur's Gate. But I fear that I may have misplaced a friend, and I'm looking for capable people who could navigate this city and perhaps return him safely to me, or at least knowledge of what has happened to him.
Do we get to go somewhere fun?
He says, it depends what you consider fun, my dear. If I'm sure there will be perhaps rooftop chases and fighting on the back of a train, and maybe griffins and dragons and all kinds of excitement.
Stinky,
Yes, we
disgusting
help
creatures.
We need our help.
Well, of course, everyone knows there are no dragons in Waterdeep of the scaly kind. But he puts sort of a couple of gold coins on the table and says, "But perhaps these dragons are more to your liking." And you can see that each coin has like each gold coin has an embossed dragon on it.
Captain lean down and inspect those coins real close.
Yeah. Yagra kind of puts a hand on Loam's shoulder and says,
I'm
Hey.
wriggling in my seat.
she's, because she hasn't sat down, like she's sort of just standing almost like to your side, right?
Sentinel.
Yeah, and she kind of puts her hand out on your shoulder pad and is like, hey, hon, I got a job, okay? I gotta go. But if you want to leave a message for me anytime, you want to go out clubbing people in town,
Bad people.
yeah, we'll just, whoever, really. Like, we'll just get some clubs, we'll go. Put on your priests, which you would know are sort of like metal-soled shoes. And we'll hit the town. Leave a message for me here. I'm here all the time. They know who I am here, so I'll catch you later. And she nods to Kate, and she kind of gives like a sarcastic curtsy to the captain, like my lord. And
I don't believe he's on.
and then she just like looks at Volo and just like spits on the ground and walks out.
What?
As Yagra's leaving, the captain is going to make a very rude gesture at his crotch towards her. Back to Volo.
Volo says, well, it should be quite simple. A friend of mine has gone missing. Unfortunately, he's got more beauty than brains, and I fear he may have taken a wrong turn on his way home a couple of nights ago and perhaps was kidnapped or worse. If you agree to track him down with all haste, or then I can perhaps offer you 10 dragons apiece now, and I can give you each 10 times that when you find Floon.
Caden's going to try and ask for more, because 10 dragons, 10 gold pieces doesn't seem like it's hardly worth time.
He's giving you 10 up front, and then he's giving you 10 times that, so offering you 100 when you complete the task.
Well, Caden's going to ask for half up front
Sure.
to begin with.
So what does he say exactly? I don't want
I
to
was
check
gonna
you. I just want to
say
hear what you have to say.
10 gold pieces to track down a friend of yours. This could take many moons. We do not know. I'd feel a lot more. I feel like the wheels would be sufficiently greased a bit more if you were to give us half up front each.
He says, sorry, but I mean, I don't have that kind of
coin on me right now. Like I have it, I just don't like have it here.
We can go to collect the coin from where you keep it
and
before we start the job.
and you must of course understand. Someone in my shoes, I've come to you in an hour of need and do not know your word, my friend, and I'm sure it is ironclad. But what a fool I would look if I handed you 50 gold each and you just left town.
The captain gonna get on eye level with Volo, stare him dead in the eyes, and tell him 50 dragons, because 10's not enough to crack Jenny's teacup with, and I won't take any less.
And Caden's also going to sort of
sleeping with a prostitute, by the way.
Okay.
Damn. So Caden's going to put his elbows up on.
I think
onto
you would
the
get
table.
a lot of prostitutes for 10 gold in this town, probably.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Caden's going to put his elbow up on the table, like right next to the captain's foot, and just lean in and go Volothamp. And may I call you that?
Volo to my friends.
I'm just going to touch Caden on the shoulder and cast guidance.
He's going to go, okay, but we are not friends, so Volothamp. I will take half up front, and then I will find your friend. That is what you seek.
Okay. Are you being persuasive or intimidatione? And I think
persuasive.
Icelicen is sort of aiding you here with a bit of good cop, bad cop. So I'll give you advantage, and you have the guidance as well.
Right, so I get advantage on a persuasion check, which is going to be a nat 20 for 26. I don't need the guidance.
Caden just like brushes Loam's hand off, like I got this.
It's like he just sort of looks back and like a twinkle when he smiles, just like.
Volo says, I can give you each 30 gold now, but upon if you are able to come back with my friend, I mean hopefully alive, and if not, then perhaps the revenge on whoever took his life. I can offer you a deed on a fine property in Waterdeep.
Done. Caden will say, well, I would like to inspect this property.
Of course, and you'll be able to as soon as you find my friend. Hopefully, the clock, unfortunately, is ticking. You know what they say. If you don't find them in the first 24 hours, it's the chance of finding them is really hard. And it's
no. I thought that was 48.
Oh, well, yeah. We got to be getting close to that anyway, because it was the night before last.
Your friend is surely dead.
He says, well, if you say so and don't want the money to try and find him.
No, I will look. That is fine. And I would very much like to...
Vola says, if you want to turn down the main quest that the Dungeon Master is offering you, that's fine.
No, Caden will very much like to belt the shit out of some bad guys and the friend. Caden's in. As he says that, he gets up and sort of just brushes himself off. Stands at the back and allows everyone else to talk.
Yeah, Volo sort of looks at each of you and says, "Then do we have a deal?"
Have an accord.
Aye, lad. We've got a deal. Your friend's probably just 3 sheets to the wind, but I'll find him or his corpse
and bring him home if you could, please.
No guarantees.
We can try. Caden then. Oh wait. Loam has to say something. Caden looks at Loam and says, "Are you in?"
Yeah, I'm going wherever you're going, Caden. Plus, it sounds like an adventure.
Okay, very good. Caden then looks at the captain and says, "I don't believe that I have made your acquaintance. I am Caden.
Captain Icelicen Eira.
And I'm Loam.
Service."
Captain, does that... Captain of the guard? Captain of a boat? What kind of captain are you?
Captain in name, a captain of the sea. The seas run red when Aislucineira is singing.
Your name is unsettling, but... Okay.
If anyone speaks Elvish, Aislucineira stands for murder song.
Yep.
I don't like him.
I speak Elvish because I am half elf.
I think they both probably speak Elvish, right?
Yeah, I also speak English. Yeah.
Yeah, we're a pack of elves.
So
Essentially.
you see this sort of in front of you, as we described before. Sort of Caden is this half elf. He's mostly human, but with a sort of a bit of fey ears about the edges. And Loam has sort of that dark ebony skin of a dark elf with the white hair of the drow.
Very long, full length hair, white hair.
And whilst drow are not sort of banned or anything like that in the city, they are certainly looked at a little bit askance. And though I do think you mentioned before, Kate, that Loam often has sort of a mask up.
Very much trying to hide her appearance, though. I'm sure the mask, if she had it on, would have fallen off during the fight.
Yeah, and she was sort of eating, so probably had the mask to the side a little bit, taking bites and so on. But I assume Yagra got a look at you and wasn't phased. Cool. All right.
Caden's just gonna look to Volo and say, where would you like us to search? Where should we begin our search?
Yeah, he puts down sort of 3 stacks of 30 gold on the table. And he says, well, my friend is a handsome human man. He's in his early 30s. He's got wavy red blonde, strawberry blonde hair. Last time we were hanging out, he was dressed in quite princely garb. We were drinking and merrymaking at the Skewered Dragon, a dark, bawdy tavern in the dock ward, playing cards. I suggest perhaps you make your way there and ask around.
Okay, that sounds good. And then Caden looks over to the captain and says, "Oh, we're going to the dock ward. Shall we see your ship while we are there?"
We'll leave that to a better time. To which the captain makes a very hurried escape to the end of the bar.
Okay. Caden looks at Volo, winks, and wanders on out of the bar.
With Loam trailing behind, I guess.
Now, does Loam...
after collecting his gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Loam, I have here is wearing like scale mail and obviously sort of like a lot of dark black clothing. But when she moves, is it like, because you mentioned the blade dance and sword. Describe to me like the...
Yeah, when she's moving, I guess you can see her long legs come out of the cloak. She's not really wearing much underneath. You can get a glimpse of like her dark skin that's kind of laced with scars. And then her singing sword is kind of tucked under her cloak, but you can catch glimpses and it's very like moonlight, silver, bright, glistening in any kind of like firelight or whatever's kind of lighting the room.
Cool. And I assume Caden kind of stalks out of a room like Wolverine. But does Loam kind of... Is Loam like a skipping after him or like also like a walk, like a striding head tall?
She's a skipping light on the balls of her feet, kind of jumping for anything that's even like half or remotely in her way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Aisleeson, do you follow... I assume you follow them out of the bar, or you get one last drink and...
Well, yes. Before we leave the bar, Aisleeson turns to Dernan and goes, "Give us a clap of thunder before I head on out."
And he... Bonnie comes up to you that says... And she says, "One cranky clergyman, here you go," and gives you a sort of a short glass with sort of a bubbling drink in it.
Lovely. Lovely. Before Bonnie heads away, Iceland whispers quietly to her, "Do you think 30 would be enough to get that half-orc bitch in the cot for the night, or?"
She looks at you, and then like passes that, like figures out who you're talking about, and she says, "Oh dear, I think your life is worth a lot more than 50 gold."
Right you are. Thank you. Downs the shot and heads on out.
Yeah. Cool. So you head on out into the streets of Waterdeep, sort of perhaps early in the morning, 1 in the morning, but the city is still a bustle of commerce because it's the city that never sleeps. Some people say it's New York, but everyone in the know who knows it's actually Waterdeep, the greatest dockside town. And it takes you some time to wander through here and there and make your way to the dock district. I'll see if I've got a map of it here. You'd think I would. I don't think I have it on me. Oh wait, Waterdeep. Here we go. View scene. Activate.
Map to pop back up.
Did it? It should be loading in. It's a big one, so.
I do not own any token with vision in this scene.
No.
Yeah. Let me put your characters where you are effectively. Caden.
Hey, there we go.
And Loam. So this is the city of Waterdeep. And each of you, the three of you are coming out of sort of near the Waterdeep Mountain, also known as the Mountain of the Mad Mage. And sort of head south into the dock ward on your way to the Skewered Dragon. Which probably takes a good sort of half an hour to an hour to navigate through the streets. And as you're making your way through the streets, you travel through the dock ward, you turn a corner and you find yourself on a street that has been cordoned off by the city watch. Lying on the cobblestones are a half dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers sees the 3 of you kind of turn this corner and are taking in this view, and she says, "Go on, get on, nothing to see here, you're going to have to go around."
I think Luke just kind of like skips up and starts like poking her nose at the dead bodies, having a look-see. Can I see like how they died or?
Yeah, give me a perception check as like this officer is like, Miss, no, you can't be here, miss.
Perception. Normal. Oh, that was almost a 2.
So it looks like they were sort of cut down, these people, so stabbed, sliced, cut, whilst the 3 humans sitting sort of in the gutter, hands tied behind their back, unarmed currently. It looks like perhaps they had done some sort of night work with daggers and scimitars.
So their like forearms and stuff are like covered in blood as well as they're like tied up?
Yes, yeah. So it looks like they themselves did not get really injured, but they certainly got very bloodied doing their work. Yeah. You also notice that whilst the dead have, as you're sort of being led away, or if you allow yourself to be led away by the officer who's like, no, miss, like you can't be here, no, like this is a crime scene. You notice that the sort of 6 dead bodies, a couple of them you notice have tattoos, like either on their forearm or like on their neck, and they're all either in the theme of an eye, or other circular kind of objects. Like one of them's got a circle with sort of like lots of spokes coming out of it, almost like a wheel, or like a pin, not a pinwheel, but like a dandelion if you drew it really simply, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of equal sort of spokes coming out of it. And the garb they're wearing is more sort of like brown leather, street clothes. It's sort of a hodgepodge. Whereas the three humans who are being arrested are wearing all black, like nothing stands out on them at all. And they sort of coldly catch your eye as you're kind of looking over at them wide-eyed, and they just sort of stare at you, or one of them sort of stares at you impassively.
So I don't recognize the symbols or anything like that.
I mean, you've been in the city a while, but mostly working with, like, within the temple district and the cloisters and stuff. You may have seen something like this in terms of it, like maybe it's a gang thing, but you probably haven't been close enough to know the difference between the different gangs and stuff. I don't think you've really lived that lifestyle.
Yeah, the gang lifestyle.
Yeah.
I wish I was that cool.
Yeah. Loam, is just excited to get out of the cloister to hang out with Caden.
Yes. Legit. I'm just here for the adventure. I don't care about the gold. But yeah, so I just allow myself to be kind of taken off. Like, my curiosity is a bit quenched at the moment. I kind of gossip to Caden as I get back to them. I'm assuming she's taking me back towards them, and I just tell him about the eye tattoos. They had these really cool tattoos, but they're so dead right now.
Caden just sort of nods. Yes. Okay. This is not a good thing, alone. This is not something to be happy about.
Those are bad men.
How do we know that they were bad men?
Well, now you're judging on appearance here, and I don't want anyone to think that us unscrupulous types are bad people per se. So
And Caden looks at the captain and wide-eyed, just shut up. She doesn't like people that she thinks are bad.
So, Captain, do you know anything about these eye tattoos or wheel tattoos? Do you have one? I start checking his clothing.
Caden stops Loam, Loam, you do not tear people's clothing off.
Well, if she wants to tear my clothes off, then please do it.
She just full red.
Caden just walks away, he walks a block up the street and then comes back around, try and get another angle on what's happened. Comes from the other end of the cordoned off street.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I'd probably be is it Benimbra Street?
Well, you're sort of heading southeast. Yeah, you sort of make a bit of a detour, but eventually you're able to get back onto Snail Street and kind of make your way down.
Yeah. Captain's going to stay back just because he's not very trusting of guardsmen.
So you've kind of not when you've seen the that interaction, you kind of stay back a bit.
Yeah, stuck back in the shadows.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I should add, moving. Were the guardsmen wearing any cloaks of any kind, or would I know of any cloaks that would show higher rank than what they would be?
Not necessarily cloaks, but you do see one of the. I mean, they have cloaks, just general kind of cloak, especially this late at night. They definitely have cloaks. One of them in particular does have on their breastplate. They have a thing on their shoulder that looks like the crown of a sergeant. Oh, they've got sergeant stripes with a little crown above it.
Trying to think if there's anything my cloak change the look of my cloak. It will.
Oh yeah. Yeah, not necessarily the cloak. Like they've got they've got matching armor, like the breastplates and all that kind of stuff. Helmets.
Caden's gonna try something anyway. While he's walking around to make his detour to come back around to the guards, his cloak's going to shift to look more like an investigator's sort of hooded cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And come back. He's gonna, as he comes back around the corner, he comes with more of a sense of importance, like he's meant to be there.
Yeah.
Sort of person.
And so you come up to the area that's kind of cordoned off on the other side of the crime scene. Is that right?
Yeah. Is it cordoned off by like a rope or something, or are there just people standing guard?
There's probably just people standing guard. There's just a couple of guards there.
Caden just walks right past them.
And similarly, as when Loam was able to just kind of skip past before, they're like, "Excuse me, sir," and sort of one tries to bar your way with like a spear, and the other one kind of just puts his hands up and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, this is an active crime scene. You're gonna have to step back. I'm afraid you're gonna have to go about your business. You're gonna have to go around. I'm afraid. Watch business. A messy business, sir."
Caden just goes, Do you not know who I am? I am here to help.
Sure. I mean, we hope that all residents of Waterdeep would help the Watch in their inquiries, sir. But if you're a witness, I'd be happy to take your statement.
Oh no, you misunderstand me. I'm an investigator. I'm here to determine what has happened.
So you're so you're saying you're a watchful order of the Magus and Protectors. I hold on, let me get my sergeant. Sarge, there's a gentleman here says he's from the city. Order of Magists. They've sent down an investigator. And a sort of skinny man, older gentleman. He's got sort of a couple of days' growth stubble. Walks up to you, gives you a look up and down with judging policeman's eyes, and says, "Sergeant John Keel, and you are, sir?"
I am Caden.
Right. Have you got any ID on you?
I do not need to identify myself. I am Caden.
Right. Well, I've never heard of you, I'm afraid, sir. And, well, I don't see the medallion of office round your neck. And I haven't heard that they were sending any Magists down for this one, as it's as far as we can tell, it's not a magical crime scene, sir. And he kind of eyes you suspiciously.
I never said I was here to determine if it was magical or not. I'm here to determine the ultimate result of what has happened.
Right, but it's we've determined that it is within our remit, the City Watch. It appears to be a couple of murders, a couple of dead bodies, mundanely obtained. I'm surprised your lot has heard about it so quickly.
Oh no! I never said that I was sent. I happened to be wandering by, and I'm here to help. I'm here to provide you with any help you deem necessary. And any help I deem necessary, for that matter.
He says, right, and he sort of pulls out his little notebook and writes down Caden, and that was, and who do you report to, sir?
I report to...
As this is happening, I cast Thaumaturgy and make like a loud bang towards like maybe the opposite side of where Caden is. Just... with the aim of like turning their heads.
Yeah, they turn their heads to kind of see what was that. Everyone in the street does. In fact, some of the people, including the sergeant, kind of duck down as if, ready for an explosion or debris to come flying.
At the same time, all the windows and doors on that street open.
Yeah. The sergeant who introduced himself as Sergeant Keel, you see that he's got, all of a sudden he's got sort of a sword in his hand, and he's sort of looking back to where that sound came from, and he starts barking orders, like, Cheery, get a perimeter set up, push these people back. Caden, was it? Yep, great. Look, I just need to stand over here. It's a bit dangerous at the moment. Things are developing. Push these people back. I don't want people in my way. Yes, detritus. I want a 20-yard perimeter. There might be another one of these bastards somewhere. I'm not having not having more blood on these streets tonight.
Caden follows Sergeant. Says, if it's danger that you're seeking, I'm here to help. And his sword appears in his hand.
He sort of rounds on you.
In a friendly way. In a friendly way, not in a threatening way.
No, that's fine. But he rounds on you anyway, and is like, I told you to get back behind the perimeter. I don't know who you are or who you're not here on official business. You get back right now. And I don't want to see you again unless you're coming in here with a warrant to take over my crime scene. So, and he sort of points to he says, Corporal Littlebottom, take Caden here, very gently outside the perimeter. Keep him safe. Keep him out of my way. We're gonna catch this prick. And he sort of goes back to shouting commands. And the corporal looks up at you, Caden, and is like, sort of hand out, like, if you will, this way, please.
Caden sort of flicks his wrist and the sword disappears, and he goes, all right, you don't want my help? Fuck you. And just he wanders back around to Loam.
And as you make your way sort of to Loam...
and I should say, as I walk back, my cloak sort of disappears.
Shifts back, yeah.
Yeah.
You make your way into sort of the tall, densely packed tenements of the dock ward. And this area kind of leaves most of the neighborhood in shadow at ground level. Most of the street lamps have either had their glass smashed and their candles stolen, or sort of have sputtered out at some point. And Islesen, the sweet smell of salt air and excrement lingers as you pass by rows of run-down buildings.
Lovely. Just pull my viol out and play a very awful tune as I walk among the terrible streets.
As you make your way down sort of Zastro Street, on the corner of Zastro Street and Fillet Lane, you see a shop with a peculiar window display. One nearby shop stands out from the others. It has a deep purple facade, and in its window hangs a stuffed beholder. Above the door hangs a sign whose elaborate letters spell out Old Zoblob Shop. And just beyond that, you turn into Fillet Lane, or sort of between Fillet Lane and Net Street. You see further on is the Skewered Dragon.
Caden's just going to wander on into the Skewered Dragon and order an ale. Or order a wine.
Oh.
A wine.
So you see the Skewered Dragon. It looks like a pretty piece of shit building. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed, and there's a ship's anchor lodged in the roof, as if thrown there by something. Through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge tankards. And as you walk in, let's cut to where you are. I'll need to give you... need to put people there. Capitan Lome. You sort of walk in, sidle up to the bar, and order a glass of wine.
I'm gonna ask directly across from old mate Brucey boy here.
Yeah.
Gonna ask him for his finest elven wine.
He sort of looks at you a little funny, and then sort of rolls up his sleeves. There's sort of like a bit of a like, you know, that's a bit fancy for this place kind of stuff. Like, who's this guy? But he eventually pulls out kind of a dusty bottle from underneath the bar, opens it up, and pours you a glass, and says, "That'll be 2 silver."
Caden says, "I'll take the bottle," and flicks him 1 gold piece.
Yeah, cool. He just sort of leaves it there, clonks on the bar there for you. The glass, like the wine glass itself, is like the wine is a white, but he's given you like a red glass, like a glass for a red.
Ugh. How dare he? How dare he? Aiden is a little bit perplexed by this. He gets his glass and he's like, "Ooh, a nice red is on its way," and then a white comes out. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, all right. I guess it will do."
Meanwhile, Loam's kind of skipping up and down the street, checking out the old Zoblob shop, and
Yeah. About the Zoblov shop, which building is it?
it's sort of like back here over to the west, but it's more just I can describe to you what's in it for sure.
Definitely like peering through the window, like.
Yeah. Well, as you peer in, as you peer inside, a cloud of lavender-scented purple smoke trails out of the shop's door, and every wall inside appears to be painted purple, and every dusty knick-knack on the shelves is dyed a deep violet. There's a hairless old gnome sitting cross-legged on the counter, wearing plum-colored robes. His cheeks are decorated with 9 purple face-painted eyes. The gnome lowers a pipe and exhales another cloud of lavender smoke before raising a hand. "Hail and well met. Come and browse the shelves of the most curious curiosity shop in the world."
I immediately walk in.
Just walk
So
through
what kind
this
of
cloud of
stuff
smoke.
do we have?
Yeah. So everything in the shop is purple.
Yeah.
And
I expect
yeah. Let's see if I can roll this and see what catches your eye. Oh.
Except
Woo, you got 100 out of 100. Damn. That's a good D100. Oh, it could be bad. Who knows?
There's this sort of like purple metal. It's almost like, you know, that kind of like liquidy metallic kind of purple that you see on, like, you know, too much 80s or 70s kind of stuff, maybe, or maybe it's purely 90s. I don't know. But it's that kind of like deep purple metal, and it's this sort of urn. And as you're kind of looking at it, you can kind of you can see your own reflection, your dark reflection, kind of reflected in it, somewhat obviously distorted. And then all of a sudden, kind of this gnome is at your elbow, and he's like, "Ah, you have a good eye. That is an urn containing the ashes of no other than oh wait, I gotta remember his name. Hold on. Zaknafane de Worden, famed Underdark hero, father of Drizzt, from Menzo Baranzan." And he kind of looks at you expectantly.
Underdark hero, so was he a drow or something? I full pull my hood off, mask off, everything, and just kind of stare at this man like he's like the coolest person I ever met.
Yeah, he says, "Indeed, Menzo Baranzan, one of the the greatest of the Drow cities. Zaknafane was a renowned weapons master, trainer of many killers, and it is said that he led a rebellion against the teachings of Lolth, and she punished him by turning him into a Dryder. But his own son rose up, slay the matron mothers, and burned him so that his soul may be at rest. And here, his ashes have made their way to Waterdeep, a collector's item.
Amazing. Can I have it?
For you. Ooh. I mean, I like you.
I am pretty cool.
You are amazingly cool. I couldn't part with it for less than 20 gold, and that's cutting my own throat.
Well, I don't think I have any gold.
You've got 30.
I have 30 gold.
Yeah, we just got paid 30 gold.
Oh, right, from that guy. I don't think I took that because I really didn't care. So you probably have that.
Yeah, I feel like Caden would have picked it up.
Like, you're kind of like my pocket money, like, yeah, holder of all things, important things. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at the little cute old man who's hairless, you said?
Yeah. Completely hairless.
Cat.
He's got like 9 like child's face painted eyes drawn on his face. And yeah, completely hairless, smoking a pipe.
So I'm just gonna, like, without saying anything, just abruptly turn, skip out of the store, and go find Caden.
Yeah. You find Caden in the bar with a bottle of wine, but before that, what is the captain up to?
So when they arrived at the bar and Caden went in, the captain had gone up to the smashed out windows and just had a look inside to see if there was any characters in there that he'd possibly ran into in the past that would have a bad time seeing him again.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. All right. Perception.
So you kind of peer in through the broken window. There's a number of people here dressed in black. There's sort of your regular... there's kind of a mixed clientele. There seems to be sort of 2 groups of people. Some your regular, like, dock worker, sailor-y types. And then the other half seem to be kind of keeping to themselves, similar to sort of Loam and Caden when we first began the adventure. You know, hood up, not really chatting much above a whisper, if they're talking at all, kind of just nursing drinks. You tell me if you recognize. I mean, do you have beef with many dock workers or sailors?
All right. No, thinking that I haven't seen anyone I know, the captain then walks into the bar, sits at the other end of the bar, waves down Bruce, and
Good old Bruce.
Good old Bruce.
Just in the nicest way possible. You scurvy dog, give us a clap of thunder and then splice the main brace for all across the bar.
I have
Which
no
means
idea what
by
he's saying.
everyone around.
Yeah, everyone. There's sort of like a bit of a cheer at that. You notice that, especially from the people at this sort of corner table are playing cards. They kind of look up and raise their glasses at you, and then Bruce kind of saunters over and just starts like filling up tankards with whatever the tap ale is here. He said, "Did you just blow in, mate?"
Yes, you could say that. It's not been a good time on the sea, let me tell you so.
He says, well, we've been hearing all sorts out near Fuck. He says it without pausing. Dan forgets. Where does this take place? There's been rumors of they said there's a dragon or a sea turtle, dragon turtle in the port. There's rumors of people have been trying to go to Chult and not been coming back. Where there's trouble all over.
Well, you don't have to worry about me because that's not got anything to do with me. But now that you mention it, Chult, people disappearing. You seen a human lad go that way?
I haven't heard of anyone from here going to Chult. Hey, I need a name. Hey, Buds, because we got Bruce and Buds. And out from the kitchen, the chef comes out, greasy diner chef, wiping his hands. Bruce says, you heard of anyone heading out to Chult lately? And he's like, nah, no one's fucking crazy enough to go to Chult these days. You couldn't pay me enough to go to Chult. And Bruce turns back to you and says, nah, no one's going to Chult, mate.
Well, you don't know if you don't ask.
But people have been disappearing all the time lately. There's a bit of a fire being lit under this city, you know what I mean?
Captain just smiles at him knowingly.
People here one day, poof, gone tomorrow. Walk around a corner, and you're gone like that sometimes.
Caden, at the mention of Chult, he's sort of up. He doesn't do much else.
You cut in and out there a bit, dude. I'm not sure if your noise gate was.
Caden, at the sound of Chult, at the mention of Chult, his ears sort of prick up a little bit, but doesn't say all that much in regards to it. He's made a note of it.
Yeah. Bruce says to you, Ellis. I gotta get like a thing to work out how I pronounce your name again. Ice Leeson. Ice.
Yeah.
Because he likes his drinks cold, Leeson. So you're looking for someone you reckon went to Chult, eh?
Oh, it's just a guess. Looking for a fancy-looking man, human lad. He's gone missing for a few days. Thought he might have popped in here.
Yeah, we had a couple of fancy lads in here the other night. Card player? Shit card player?
Oh, awful. Never seen a worse one. Poker face as good as a goat's.
Yeah, we had a couple of young lords in here the other night. We thought they were well outside their territory. I think they lost a bit of money at that table. Drinking all night, stumbled off. Could have been a couple of days ago. Yeah, it could have been.
Any idea where they are headed, my boy?
Yeah. They left. A lot of my clientele come here for a bit of discretion. You know what I mean? I couldn't say which way they were going. If you're here on behalf of some vexed wench, perhaps I don't want to throw one of my fine clients under the bus. He wouldn't say bus. What would he say? Under the cart. Don't know. I'm sure you're an upstanding gentleman. You speak the speak, you talk the talk, you walk the walk. But I can't be going around talking about our drinkers here, where they've been and what they've done at all hours, can I? At this, I think Loam comes like skipping in.
Like, with no thought to anything that's happening. Caden.
Yes.
Hold my hands out, and can I have 10 gold, please?
What for?
Can I have 10 gold, please?
Kaden
What's 10
just
gold?
Kaden just gets up and
It's funnier that you asked for 10 because it was 20.
well,
Yes, I definitely need 10.
Kaden just gets up and just follows Loam and just says, "Take me to where you need this gold."
Okay, so I just kind of skip back to the old Zoblov shop.
Just as they're walking out the door, the captain yells out, "Oi, where do you think your funny bastards are going?"
Kaden just looks back at him and says, "We'll be back."
Yeah, make sure you.
I'm already skipped off.
To which captain just goes back to his drinking, quite defeated for the moment.
Yeah. Bruce says, well, trying to learn a bit more, Bruce says, so one of them I didn't recognise, but the other one, what's his name? Chip off the old block, that one. And one of them's like, one of the people at the table's like sneers and says, yeah, just another spoiled rich noble who wants to rub our noses in it.
Short little funny bloke you're talking about.
Oh, he was here, yeah, but nah, this other bloke showed up. Son of what's his name? Son of a bitch, that's who he is. The fucking old open lord, Neverember. Would Iceleeson know much about like Waterdeep in general? Like, has he spent much time in the city or?
No, he'd be relatively fresh into town. Wouldn't be long off the killing of his old ship.
Yeah. You potentially know that an open lord is like a, it's like a prime minister-esque, patrician-esque kind of title. But you probably wouldn't maybe know the name Neverember unless you've spent a lot of time on the Sword Coast. If you've spent time up and down the Sword Coast, you may recognize the name. If you've been to Neverwinter.
Yeah. I'd probably vaguely would know the name.
Yeah, you probably So you might know some. The name might have come up as this lord who was kind of disgraced and had to leave Waterdeep and was banished, never to come back.
Right.
So these guys are saying like, chip off the old block. His son was in this bar hanging out with this other guy, both looking very lordly. Both losing a bunch of money, getting too drunk and wandering off.
So the captain's gonna start bouncing a gold coin along his knuckles, and turn to Bruce and be like, "So this youngin' one, you wouldn't happen to be willing to grease your palms a little for just a tidbit of information, would you?"
He kind of gives you a nod. And as you put the coin like on the bar, he goes to like wipe the surface of the bar with the cloth and like sweeps the coin up in the movement. And in sort of a lower tone, he says, all right, they left around midnight, and they'd been drinking, they played a few rounds. 5 men followed them out. None of us know what happened to them after that. We haven't seen those 5 guys, since. And he kind of looks over at, sort of in the back of the corner of the bar at sort of a group, and then kind of leans in a little bit more and is like, but they're known to frequent a warehouse on Candle Lane. Keep an eye out for snakes.
Okay, so the captain smiles in response. Thank you, lad. Places another 10 gold on the counter for the earlier drinks, and moves to follow the others outside to the Zog Ob
Zoblob shop,
whatever it
yep.
was.
Interesting shop.
And as you do, like, you know, you give kind of the half-hearted wave or nod to these people who are now your best friend because you brought them all around as you depart. We cut across to Loam and Caden in the old Zoblob shop as Zob, the gnome, he's a deep gnome, so he's got a similar kind of dark, sort of rough skin, completely hairless. You know, he's back to sitting, you know, cross-legged on the table, you know, where the cash box is kept, I guess. Sitting on sort of a lavender-looking pillow, just puffing away at his pipe. Caden, Loam sort of drags you in there, I imagine, and you know you're hit by a puff of this lavender-smelling smoke.
And I'm not a fan of. Caden goes, now, Loam, what did you need in here?
This! And, like, legit just, like, point straight to the... it's 10 gold!
10 gold, okay. So
As you're looking at it, the shopkeeper sort of almost like appears next to you. His face, as I said, covered in these sort of face-painted eyes. Says, "Oh, the young lady has returned, and with a bonny suitor. I see you, sir, also have an eye for quality. Of course, these are the ashes of Zacnafane de Worden. And there's 20 gold, which is cutting me own throat if I do say so myself."
20 gold, I was told 10.
The price is the price, the deal is the deal. It is 20 gold. I cannot be held accountable if the lady has misspoken.
Let's get it, Caden.
Is there anything I need to know about ashes that you speak?
It's the ashes of a famous drow warrior, legendary blade master Zacnafane de Worden, rumored to be father of Driz de Worden himself.
Caden just goes, now are you sure? Sure that you want these? Are you going to look after them? Or is this just going to be something that you buy?
Are you going to feed them every day?
In 5 minutes?
Are you going to take them for walks?
Loam just goes, Caden just goes, all right. Hands the guy the gold piece.
Cool. I think your noise gate's cutting in and out again a little bit.
Yep. Hands the little guy 20 gold pieces. I'm just gonna adjust my noise gate real quick.
Cool. Yeah, he accepts the money and sort of says to Loam, would you like these wrapped or put in a would you like the urn in a box? Is this a gift? Is this just for you?
I legit, like, with my cloak, just kind of take it off the shelf and, like, scurry it into my cloak and, like, holding it like a baby, I guess.
Awesome. You've got, like, yeah, sort of a pouch or pockets in the cloak you can kind of nestle it into, and it's fine. The urn itself does have, now that you kind of look at it a bit closer, does have, like, a crossed swords motif that makes up, like, a clasp that seems to, like, keep the lid of the urn on. Cool.
So is there anything special about this urn, or is it legit just a dead guy's ashes?
Just a dead guy's ashes as far as you can
just
tell.
a dead dude's ashes.
Cool.
For now.
I mean, you're a cleric. You could probably do interesting things with someone's ashes.
I think I can bring him back to life.
Maybe eventually.
Loam definitely can bring him back to life.
Yeah, Loam, you've probably heard of Menzo Baranzan, I would say.
I'm sure I was taught him if he's like a big anti-loaf hero, then
Yeah,
he's probably my.
he's probably spoken
go-to.
about in whispers, or the knowledge of him was probably tried to be purged from the regular Drow community, because they don't like the idea of dissenters and stuff, right?
Anyone
Like people,
who above
yeah, anyone who
ground.
goes against is kind of like salt. They salt the earth while they get rid of them. And the House of Do'Urden is certainly one that did quite well for a while, but it was kind of purged eventually. They fell out of favor with.
Well, he was like a very good swordsmaster too,
Mhm.
so I guess I would have been like taught. I don't know, maybe his style or something.
Yeah, absolutely. You probably heard that. Yeah, he was famous for his sort of dual blade style at sort of the war colleges of the Drow, and he was. You almost certainly like sort of heard his story, if not in official material, in hushed whispers and things like that before they took all those books down when he fell out of grace, kind of thing.
Cool.
As the transaction completes, I guess Iceleeson kind of steps in, or is waiting outside the old Zoblob shop. I think you're on mute, Aaron.
Couldn't hear me.
Sure was. Yeah, so yeah, the captain's going to stand outside because the moment he would have gone to walk in and smelt that lavender, he would have nearly thrown up. So he's just
He wants to stay out here with the
Stay
smell of salt water and excrement.
salt water.
Yeah, unless you're looking at any other trinkets.
Oh, can I ask to try the pipe? Can I have a puff?
Oh, absolutely. He sort of stacks it up with a little bit more, and hands it to you. And sort of as you go to puff it, he kind of pulls out a little. He seems to have a little like click device that seems to click and like shower the bowl with sparks, that kind of catch as you inhale.
Awesome, yeah. So I take like a few tentative puffs and then try and make a cool shape as I exhale the smoke.
Cool. Give me a performance check.
Performance. Oh no.
Like you're like, and then like you go to like make a cool thing, and you start out like you breathe out and it's almost like this crescent moon shape, and then you just and it goes everywhere.
I just kind of turned to Kaden with like a big eyes and like, did you see?
Yeah, but it comes out more like
Yes, yes, I saw.
See that? Like eyes are watering.
And Kaden just nods and gives her a pat on the back, like, yes, I saw. Very good. Very good.
All right.
Sweet, I'm done with the.
Cool. So I hope you've written down that you have now an urn. You can also put it in your inventory if you like.
Oh, I can add it to my inventory.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else? Oh, so you step outside. The captain's out there, keeping his nose held away from the purple smoke that now seems to be like just wafting around Loam.
He's not going to be able to look at it for days. The captain just looks at them and raises an eyebrow.
Look, I got this cool thing, and I just like whoosh, and the urn is just like sitting there, in its purple glory with the little swords on the front. I got this cool swordsmaster in a box.
You guys reckon we could bring that back to Volo and convince him it's his cremated friend?
I believe we could try.
You're a bad man.
He's okay.
Whilst you two were piss farting around, I got into some business. I think I know where we got to go.
Think or you do know.
Where are we going?
Candle Lane to find us some snakes.
Snakes.
Yes, snakes. No,
Oh,
biting, bloody, dangerous snakes.
Do you
Boil
think he
'em.
was eaten by a snake?
I think you need to get eaten by a bloody snake.
Caden doesn't take kindly to that. You don't insult his friends. Caden just shoots a look at the captain. A very not very friendly look.
Just shrugs it off and starts to walk off on him, heading towards Candle Lane.
Loam pulls a face and then just follows.
So you make your way through the streets. Is there any kind of conversation as you're walking, or is it sort of
Caden doesn't really have all that much to say. He's just walking along, looking at Loam's new ashes.
Yes, I'm
Some of them-
definitely admiring, kind of opening. I want to open and check that there are actually ashes inside. I don't even think to do that.
yeah, you're able to kind of pop the clasp of the two swords that you almost slide them out, and you're able to open up. There are ashes inside.
Cool. I feel like I have a spell. I'm not going to do anything right now, but yeah, I'll just close it up again and pop it away.
Yep. And you make your way to Candle Lane. The buildings on either side of Candle Lane are so tall and so tightly packed together that light touches it doesn't touch the street at all. The gloom envelops this narrow alley, as dark as a dungeon and possibly as odorous as one too. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness is a faint flickering from down the lane, like a distant candle. There's sort of one street lamp still intact on Candle Lane. However, the three of you have excellent dark vision. And though though it is dark and gloomy, you can kind of see as if it is dim light, and in black and white. And there's a warehouse directly across the street from the lamp, and the lamp itself actually illuminates a black winged snake painted above the door's handle.
Oh, look, snake!
You be right there, lass. How about you go and knock for us?
No, Loam.
Caden,
I was already moving.
Yes.
Caden, you've been around a bit on the surface world. Give me an intelligence check.
Intelligence. Oh, he's not very intelligent.
Intelligence, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not very intelligent.
He's an idiot right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, no idea.
yeah. Didn't think so.
Right, well, if you're not going to let the little one go, how about you go, big fella?
Caden just wraps his knuckles, hit the rings on his knuckles across the door, as if.
Let me set you up here.
Captain's going to slap himself in the head at just how stupid of an action he actually thinks that is.
It's fine. Caden, he knows what he's doing.
You are first standing in front of these two sort of gates, or there's this big gate in front of a almost like a courtyard area, and then further in is a big sort of roller door, and then a smaller kind of entrance door. So do you bang on the gate?
Yes.
Clang, 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 clang. Rattle, rattle, rattle.
Yes, rattle, rattle, rattle. Is there any, what's the word? Response?
Nope.
Well. Caden then just goes, oh, no response. Okay. And just pushes the gate open.
Sure. All right. Push it open for me.
There you go. And he just ducks his head around the corner, has a quick look, doesn't see much, and says, "Looks empty," and makes his way on up to the next door. And then the same again, just knocks on the door, like, "Hello? Anybody home?"
Captain's gonna crouch down and try and be a little more stealthy about things.
Cool. All right. Give me
Let
a
him.
stealth check.
Nice.
Well,
You sort of crouch down outside the gate, and then Loam just like walks past you, and you sneeze at the like lavender perfume she now appears to be wearing.
I walk up to Caden and I just cast Shield of Faith on him.
and he's like, what's going on? Why am I being shielded right
I
now?
don't know, just in case.
Okay,
It's like 10 minutes.
sick.
Cool. And what does that
yeah,
do?
knocks it
Just so we know.
He gets an extra +2 bonus to his AC for the duration.
Excellent.
Hey, that's huge. All right, I'll take that.
10 minutes.
Yeah, just knocks on the door again, like, "Hello?
There's no answer.
Anyone?" Caden's getting... Oh, wait. We haven't had a rest, have we?
No.
Great. Well, since there's no answer, Caden's going to pop his hand out and you just hear and a puff noise and a sword appears in his hand. So he's readying an attack just to be safe. And he's going to open the door.
Cool. All right. Open that door for me.
And he... Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, you open the door, and you are looking into a large 2-story warehouse. Tables and chairs have been carelessly tossed across the floor. The corpses of a dozen men lie along the walls, their rapiers and daggers lying nearby. On the north side of the area, stairs rise to an open level above. But the main thing that takes your attention, of course, is the giant skeletal dragon in the center of the room.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to end it this week.
Fantastic. Oh, all right. So I'm safe still for now. Caden might die.
Cool.
Hope you had fun. Hope that was
Very good.
fun. I think that's a good spot to end for tonight.
Yep, on a cliffhanger, just like the other campaign.
Yep.
You gotta keep
Why
it
are your
exciting.
characters always about to die, DB?
Well, he's not. They're never smart. Good at killing.
Always
Okay.
characters.
To be fair, got two like not smart people and a really bad bard.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're good, I suppose. We'll figure it out.
I mean, if you can convince Marcus between now and whenever our next session is to join in, maybe you'll have another hand on deck for this one.
Well, he was
a very
he's
high
just busy.
intelligent character.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I hope you enjoyed that. Your first sort of side session in the Tats and Tarasques side game.
Thanks, Dan.
No worries, my pleasure. And we'll see how we go over the next week or so. We'll try and get another couple of these in. At this pace, I think there's probably 2 to 3 more sessions left in this arc that I want to tell. And then we'll see where it's at in terms of whether we continue, whether we have a jumping off point, or whether we merge the campaigns based on what's happening with the main Tats and Taras story.
We accidentally all get killed off, and it's
Yeah, well, could be. We'll see. I mean, you've got at least a week to formulate a plan on how you're going to enter that room, I suppose. Unless Caden just goes, I used my action to close the door, couldn't find him, we're out.
Look, Caden-
my ashes across
Yeah,
the
we'll go give the ashes to him.
Yeah,
Mm.
here you go. I present you this worth 20 gold. Or
Yeah,
10.
I feel like I feel like Loam though would be like too honest. Like we didn't find your friend, but here
Yes.
you go. Like here's the legendary dead drow.
I don't think I could give him up though. I don't want to give up my awesome
Yeah.
hero.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. All right. That's where we'll call it, and I'll say goodnight to everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for everyone who was hanging out and accruing those little inspiration points. There's still plenty of time to put points towards releasing the Kraken, which will impact the main Tats and Tasks group for Monday next week. I see. Yep. Excellent. Aaron's chucking another 4,000 in there. So we're at 34%, and we have another 7 days. So we have till Monday next week to get it there. And of course, I'll be running some other games, side stories, I think, for the Fancy Lads team this week as well.
I'll be accruing
I'm
points.
just going to give myself a couple of inspiration points.
Yes. So
You're going to be.
Yeah, Caden's got a few.
yeah, you can also spend inspiration points there to give inspiration to the players or to the dungeon master. And of course, we would love it so much if you hit follow or whatever, just to get notification next time we go live. I am Dylan James, and at the biggest Steve, of course, do stream as well. I don't think Kate streams. What do you do, Kate? What do you do in the real world?
Kate does stream.
No, I got bored. I don't have time for the streaming. I wanted to do it during lockdown, but then it took me forever to get everything.
Yeah, fair. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to go to bedsies and then plan up a big Australia January 26th day tomorrow because we got the day off.
Nice.
All right. Good night, my lovelies. Your DM daddies loves you very much, and I'm very, very proud of you. Kiss your mum good night for me, and I'll catch you soon.
See you.
Peace.